So, that being said, honestly, the rest of it now is old shit. So if you're not into really old shit and old paper, because I've got to show this, and I may split this up, I don't know, half an hour. All job lots, all come from different bits. eBay, fucking, probably a bit of Facebook, maybe not. I don't think any shows. I don't know, could be wrong. So, some loose carts. I don't know anything about these. Daz McGowan might know, I don't know. I think these might be American. Word Zapper. These are loose carts. These come in the job lot. Laser Gates. Imagic. Journey Escape. And I might have seen this one box somewhere. And another Imagic is Solar Storm. Again, I can't speak to these because I just can't. And then, again, from a lot, I've had this sat here and I need to get it fucking, I don't know, bubble wrap to put away because, like, let's be honest, I ain't going to use it because I've got no need to use it. A little anomaly, and it is the Vader. Yeah, so the Atari 2600 Vader edition. They call it the Vader because it's just all black, essentially. Less switches. You've only got 4 switches on here rather than the 6 switcher. But yeah, the box is okay. It's okay. I've done a little bit of fettling on it, but you know, you can only go so far. But overall, it's all right. It's got I'll put Pac-Man in there. Anybody who's got one of these, right? I've put Pac-Man loose with a manual, and I'm assuming that's how it came. I don't think it came with a boxed copy of Pac-Man. I would assume it was like a loose cart and whatever. But yeah, it's all right, you know. Check out that 1970s family, man. So yeah, I say, if you're not really into your old stuff, really old stuff, the next lot won't really interest you too much. But again, it come in the job lot. It probably owes me very little to nothing now, and it was always going to be kept, just because I'm a fucking hoarder and I have no self-control, and I shouldn't really be allowed to have money, really. Was the longest running video game magazine in the UK, maybe in the world, I don't know. 1982 up until 2008 or something like that, I can't remember. I stopped buying it in about 2004. I know that because they're the last ones that I've got here. So I had to go do a cut off, 2004. So anything before then is all fair game. And that's kind of what I've just been chipping away at it over the years, this, that and the other. I'm not too far away now from a full run from 82. 82 only had 2 issues up until the 2004s. So, weirdly enough, most of the 2004s still include all the gifts and shit like that. So these are in no order. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on them at all because it will just bore the fuck out of everybody. But it's just, and thanks to my mate Fob, he's done me some boards for these just to keep them tidy. So when I put them away, they're not all like bent. Because storing these things is a fucking nightmare, man. I've got like archive type boxes full of these. So like I say, without further ado, July 83. You know, some of these are probably older than people that might be watching. April 83. This is the kind of era that I remember, the mid 80s or whatever. So this is July 88, Ninja 2. Look at that. Look at the artwork though. Feb 89, Jessica Rabbit. She's a fucking cartoon character. She's still smoking up. How sad are we? But you'll remember it if you're on a certain age. You'll remember. I'm going to run out of space here. December 87. One for the F1 fans there. A lot of crinkling going on. I do apologise. I can't remember what year this is. Maybe 80s. This is Power Drift with a little hologram on the front. Really early one here. Jan 82. It was 81 it started. And 82 was a full year. I think 81 might have just been November and December. Can't remember. I can't remember what the year this is. This is like the early 80s again. Slice Spy, that is. I'm sure it's Slice, but I don't think it's James Bond. Even though, oh no, it does say Bond is back. I thought it might be Slice Spy. Great cover here. Oh, Jack Nicholson is a Joker. It is missing hologram, unfortunately. So it's the same year as that one. That is not a thingy. This one is 85. Down there. 83. Gladiator. I mean, just some of the artwork. It's just like 1983. And a lot of these early ones, you see, they had typing codes. You just type them. You type a game in, essentially, into your BBC, your Specky, your Atari, your Amstrad and stuff, and your C64. March 86, Iridium. What a great game that was. 87, bit of Thundercats. Thundercats. June 83. I don't know what this one's all about. Yeah, so you got game listings for the VIC 20, the Specky, the Atari, the TI 99. There you go, Tetley, BBC, and many more. So the TI Texas Instruments. I love this cover. This is one that I think I needed to upgrade. This is from March 82. And I'm sure, I want to see where it is. I think it's from the arcade game. And I think this is 1943. I mean, that is absolutely superb. Put it that way, you can sort of see it. You know, Spitfire. But I think, when it talks about the arcade, Meet Our Arcade Champ, I think it might be 1942, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's Battle for Midway. Feb 82. I can't remember what the cover this is from. Dark Tower. There you go, Scott. Sega Zombie. And I think Alex, Nintendo Arcade, I know that's a game, a board game, of all things, that they always talk about. I can't recall that myself. I think it's really expensive. I think it was expensive back then. It's expensive now. March 83, Doctor Who. May 89. I don't know. That looks like Blastoid, but I don't know. It says Blastic Dominator. I can't picture the game, but it does have that in there. Look, PC Engine reviews, a stunning 16-bit Sega in-depth review. The almighty Mega Drive. Look, that's back in 89. 88, we've got Xenon, the first home coin op. That's saying something, isn't it? We then jump forward to, I don't know, I think this is again, like late 80s. And I'm really lucky with this one. It's got the badge, and it's got the hologram, and it's got a cool cover, which is Ghostbusters. I'm a hard driving. You know what? No one's fucking hard driving. That game, although very unique, is absolutely shite. Even in the arcade, it was shite. As a kid, it was shite. You had to learn to drive a car. You're a fucking 10-year-old. You just want to play Outrun. You didn't want to turn the ignition. You didn't want to put the clutch in. You didn't want to put it into gear. And talking of Outrun, Jan 88, one for James Retro Import Gamer. Blaster is free Outrun 720 soundtrack. Unfortunately, I don't have that. That'd be nice to get on there. But the old Ferrari Testarossa on the front. Again, kind of like the era that I do remember. I think this is 90s. Although I think they cocked up, because you can see the sticker over here, and I think it was maybe they duplicated the issue number, which I think is 103, but it's really 104. And it's got the turtles on the front. And you've got DJ Boy there. I remember Gus Newton loved DJ Boy. Probably still does. G-Lock, great arcade, terrible home conversion. Got Turtles posted there. So that's that little stack. These are all guides. I'll show you some of the guides I've got. Blah, blah, blah. More guides. More CVGs. Very quickly. It says September 94. I can't point the year. Xenon 2, so it's a lot later than the first Xenon. Xenon 2, the Conics, right? That, people who were around that time, when the Conics was first put forward, it was like revolutionary. It was like a whole system that you sat in, you can convert it. It was like a transforming whole fucking thing, like a rig, essentially. But it never come to fruition. Dynamite Ducks, I actually like that. I really like that in the arcades. Doesn't get a lot of love. I'm trying to work out what the game is on the front, or what it relates to. I can't think. But what is really funny is down here, look, Atari 7800, the next supercomputer. Yeah, it's kind of about 10 years too late at that point. Chase HQ. This just says Jan 98. I can't put the year on it. We're getting into the sort of 3D realm here, which, but again, wonderful cover art. So you've got your terrible flights. Well, I say terrible. People love them, probably really loved it. F-29, Indy 500. You've got a nice Chase HQ hologram there that's still functional, but yeah. So we've got Last Crusader. We've got to be talking early 90s now. We've got the PC Engine on the front of this one. We've got I can't remember what that is. It says this micro beats ST Amigas everything, I suppose. I don't know what that is. Is it an Archimedes? But it's got Indy on the front. So you can see here, you've got the old PC Engine CD-ROM, the first CD-based system. But I don't know what machine that is. I should have a look at this. This micro beats Amigas and everything. Suppose it costs 399 quid. I don't know, without looking in the front. Is it an Archimedes? I don't know. Is it an Apple? August 93. I can't put the year on it. We've got Power Drift at the home. Computers, Stunt Car Racer. And a C64 game. And then we're talking about the links here and exclusive PC Engine 16-bit Sega Mega News with looks like Shinobi on the front. Just time capsules, guys, back in the day. Time capsules. April 89. Oh God, I remember that. That was it was a game on a TV show, was it? We've got Vindicators, Populous, great game, and it talks about PC Engine here, which is the CD-ROM games are here. Weird Dreams. You remember this game? Was it Violet Berlin? Was it Bad Influence? I can't remember. There was a way you used to play this game over the phone and stuff like that. But yeah, we're talking about the PC Engine there. This is a fantastic cover. Really is. I think, again, probably like late 80s, early 90s. Golden Axe. The PC Engine GT, or the handheld. Hang On the Mega Drive. And then they started doing this thing it was of its time, but I mean, that is a fantastic cover art there. So you got your Hang On, and then do you remember the magazines used to be full with this, like, phone this number, you can win fucking about 10 gazillion fucking things, and I don't think anybody ever won anything there. But that was like a bit of a trend, wasn't it? Sort of slightly newer. Again, I think this is probably towards the late 90s. Dino Crisis 2 on the PlayStation. We're talking about the Dreamcast, Metal Gear Solid 2. And again, like £2 worth of prizes. So, you know, from the collection side of it, I've got gaps. So hence why it all looks all over the shop. Last two then, from October 84. We've got some game listings for the C64 Spectrum, the BBC and the Atari. Trashman map. Someone talk about Trashman. Was it Lee? And how to get your free Commodore 64 flexi disc inside. Is that Cyndi Lauper? I don't know. But just, yeah, just time capsules. And the last one for the CVG. It's July 84. Daily on the front. Daily Thompson. 3 programs for the BBC Atari, Texas Instruments, the TI, Commodore, the Dragon, the VIC-20, the Auric, and the Electron. And a 52-book book of games, which is probably what you would program them into. I mean, fantastic. So aside from those guys, like I've got a load of not a load, a couple of guides. Again, I picked these up from the markets from different people. Just ones I wanted to keep. This looks like it's come from Nintendo Power. It's probably an Americanized one from Mario Kart 64. Bit newer here. Super Mario Bros. 2. New Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Advance on the Game Boy Advance. And then one from Mark Jowett, Sega. Well, I think it's still called Sega Mags at the minute. He had a couple. I missed out on one, but I managed to bag this one. Again, look, these are all these guys. I said this before. They're no use, no ornament. But I'm an old fucker, and I just like having old shit to reminisce about. And this one is Saga Frontier for the PlayStation. And I remember I bought what I thought was an original copy when I went on holiday to Turkey, in the Turkish market, and I bought a couple of games. And at the time I thought that they were original, because it was like literally when shit was starting to be copied, and Cyber Frontier was one of them. And it took me, I can't remember how long it was, before I managed to crack my PS1, mod it. The first game I actually managed to crack and play, because I knew it worked, was, I think I've said this before, was Ridge Racer. Then once I knew it worked, I could play Saga Frontier. So that is like nearly an hour. And we're going to have to split this up. I'll probably split it up after talking about the old shit. Because no one's going to sit through and listen to an hour of me prattle on about old magazines. But it does mean now I can catalogue them if I can get past the fucking junk shop. Atari. If you've stuck around for this long, Atari. It's Atari. There's more on the shelf. There's more on the shelf. I might just plough through this, you know. So there might be some jump cuts. So first up, again, from a bundle. All these will be from bundles. Mainly eBay, I think. I don't think I've bought any of these from market. I don't think I've got any from Facebook. A new old new from Retrobit Classic Controller. I thought, you know what, we're going to keep that fucker. I mean, they've got to be hands down probably one of the worst fucking controllers ever, the Atari, but iconic nonetheless. Right, guys, Atari. Can't honestly say where all of these have come from. It'll be mainly eBay. I don't think any have come from the shows. I don't think I've got any from Facebook. So they've been like bundles from stuff like that. I showed you the classic controller. I had to pause it there because I actually realised I had more on the shelf than I thought. So kind of a bit of a jump cut. Apologies, but hey, you know, that's where we're at. And I'm just having a quick look around now just to make sure I haven't forgot anything else. No, we're all good. So first up, again, I can't speak too much to these because I just haven't played them. Kung Fu Super Sidekicks. I don't think it looks like that. I don't think it looks like that at all. Telegames. So the telegames tend to be a bit of a later release. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, Daz McGowan, and anybody else who's up on their Atari. Radar Lock. Now, surprisingly, I think this is a bit more expensive than I thought. I tend to, and again, I could be wrong here, the sort of burgundy boxes are kind of like either re-releases or the tail end, the later end. And I kind of like, I don't know, in my head, they're like worth less or less valuable, but I don't think they are actually. I think some of these just weren't bought. And a lot of these would have been peg warmers. Or shelf warmers, however you want to call it. I think peg warmers is a toy reference, isn't it? As in, like, things sit on the peg warming it. Again, similar one, off the wall. If you look at that, you think it's like some sort of Kung Fu game. It's not. It's not. It's Pong. Pong. It's a Arkanoid breakout clone. Some of these I got from the same guy who did Word Zapper and whatever, and I think these might be like import foreign chess. Made in Taiwan. It's a Taiwanese chess version. I am not going down the weird and wonderful import, like, you know, like with the Master System and the tech toy shit. No, we're not doing that. Again, another one that kind of falls in that gap. Data Age, something called Data Age. Warp Block. No idea whatsoever. But I do know it's a bloody different size box, and none of my baggies fit in it. Talking of baggies, I think it's Stone in Jabal going, I don't know why people put stuff in these bags. Mate, it's to stop the dust. You won't understand that because you play your fucking games. You're in the minority. You're in the minority, lad. Most of those old fuckers don't play shit. You ain't got fucking time. You've got barely time to stay alive. Let them play games. Anyway, another a classic. You know, to be honest, I don't think the 2600 version is too bad of this. Moon Patrol. A half decent conversion. I've had a couple of these. Man, I struggle to work out what's American NTSC, what's PAL. I'm convinced, you know, at some point that a lot of the boxes and the instructions that were just fucking pumped over here because off the Atari were like bleeding out of the what's-its over in America, and shit was just reused because there's no way the different variations I've had of this are all like English, if you get what I mean. No way, man. Back then, that wasn't a thing. You didn't have people jet setting across the Atlantic every other fucking week like you do now. So answers on the postcard. I don't know. I just picked the best box, essentially. I picked the best box, the best cart, and the best manual, and I've made one, and it's like, it works for me. But the amount of different versions that I've had of Moon Patrol, it's unreal. It can't be like, say, it can't be that there's like an NTSC and a PAL version. A bit like Nintendo. Nintendo were very good at doing that, and maybe they've copied Atari. And they've gone, look, you know what? We've got loads of these fucking Moon Patrol boxes here. No one's buying them. Send them over. Here's the shouts of the carts. Reprogram the PCBs for a PAL, and then off you go. Fucking make the setup. I'm convinced that happened. Couple of quite nice ones, I think. Again, from a job lot. I can't speak to where I've got them from. I remember Ant talking about this. Ant Harper, Retro Games. It's Private Eye. Again, a PAL sticker whacked on it. But, you know what I mean? It's like, reuse the box. So I can't speak. I think he said it is actually quite a decent, weird game for the Atari. I think he bought this from Daz. Again, probably about 2 years ago when Daz was selling up all his Atari stuff. But I can't speak to it. One of the CBS, I've got a few of these CBS games. Not a game that rings any bells in me. It's Blueprint. I don't know if it was an arcade. It looks like it's by Bally Midway. So Bally Midway, a lot of people will probably remember them more for pinball, maybe. But they did arcades back then. I can't speak to it. I'm guessing it probably was an arcade game. But I do quite like the CBS boxes in that respect, you know. Quite unique in that vein. And sticking with CBS. I spoke to Daz about this because, you see, I wasn't sure, man. I was like, these are both really good in different ways. I don't really want to sell either of them because I'm a fucking idiot like that. So he basically said to me, keep on both. And that's kind of what I wanted someone to tell me. So I did. So I have at the minute. So sticking with CBS, we've got a Donkey Kong. And again, I mean, just the artwork. Look, it's not Nintendo artwork. It is by Nintendo, it says Nintendo because it's Donkey Kong. But that's not Nintendo artwork. But I quite like it. I quite like it. So with that in mind, I can't, again, these come from different places. And I was like, this one is a different CBS one. And it's Donkey Kong. Look at this Mario. Look at Mario, look with his hammer. But different, but the same. It's the same game. Literally the same game. Just in a different box. So, yeah, I'm keeping both. I'm keeping both. I mean, I quite like that artwork, but I quite like that as well. So, just keep both. This one I've had sat on a shelf up there. I've got a little shelf where things aren't complete. It's like my to complete list, to-do list. Usually missing manuals, to be honest, generally, 9 times out of 10. This was one of them. There is variations of this manual. I can't remember which one I've got. And it is Title Match, Pro Wrestling. And it says for the 2600, right? But there is versions of this that have a manual, because this came out in the 7800 as well. And I can't remember which one I've got. And one of them has a sticker on it that says for both. There you go, look here. So to save money, they've basically put a sticker on it that says, also for 2600. So I've had that for the longest time set up there. And I can't remember where I've got the manual from. I've got it from somewhere. I can't remember. I'll sort that out in a minute. But I have that for the 7800. I think I've completed that before I got that one. This is the one I said earlier that I nearly bought. Because they've all been sat there, I just like, got to get them on the shelf. I don't want to say it's a Burger Time rip-off, but it's kind of like a Burger Time rip-off, but not quite the same. And it's called Pressure Cooker. But it's by Activision. I haven't played it, but I know it is quite a kind of sought-after game, I suppose. I had the loose cart on this for the longest time. And I completely forgot that I actually managed to get this complete. Again, in a bundle. I've just pilfered the bits that I want to keep out of it, and the rest I've moved on. This one has evaded me for the longest time. I've always seen it loose, and I've always been like, and there's one more like this. I keep thinking to myself, I'll get it in a bundle, I'll get it in a bundle. And I haven't yet. But again, probably one of the better titles on the 2600 when you realise what you've got to do. It is a shooter of sorts, and it's Yar's Revenge. A fantastic box art here. But yeah, you've just got to blast your way through the actual the defence wall here. But one that just evaded me for so long. I think that's a Toys R Us sticker. Yeah, Toys R Us sticker, look. £1, is that £1.97? Ridiculous, ridiculous. Another foreign one, German. I want to say this is German. This come with, I got one of the other foreign one. The guy was like banging on about it. I think it's plate spinning. Tanzende Tala video spiel cassette. So video play the video cassette. I know spiel means to play. Keep the plate spinning. Keep the plate spinning, dude. That's my fucking life. That's anyone's of a certain age. That's all you're doing. Your whole life is just keeping plates spinning, isn't it? Let's be honest. Fucking hell, an hour. Right, what we've got left. Let's do stuff everywhere. Who was on the last vid when I was talking about Bridge? I was talking about Bridge and some other shite. And someone was like, "What the hell is all this?" Look, here's another one to chuck into Othello. Is that reversey? Is that what Othello is? There's nothing on the back. Really early release here for 2600. Yeah, Othello. I'm sure it's reversey. A couple of one. I can't speak to this one. Daz might know. It looks like it does. It uses the keypad of controllers. I don't know what game it is. It's called Codebreaker. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how it plays. There's nothing on the back. It's called Codebreaker. Again, in a bundle in the job lot. You know, there's a lot to be said for the different colour boxes. On a 2600, just make them quite nice to look at. I don't know. Maze Craze, a game of cops and robbers. I don't know. Is it cops and robbers? Is it Keystone fucking crappers? Which I've actually got down here. I'm going to show that. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these were like variations on the theme, weren't they? A lot of them copied other things. Pac-Man. They'll end up being a load of maze games, you know. Space Invaders. Oh, a load of shooting shit. Just what they did back then. This one, self-explanatory. I can't speak to it. Miniature golf. You only get 2 games on this one, though. I'm on a 1 and 2 player game. Wonderful. But yeah, probably ping a very square, round ball, golf ball, around a very rectangular course, no doubt. Now, this one I had, and I know I've got, it's the Sears, it's the American version, 100% it is. So I bought a job lot, and there was 2 games, and this one didn't have the game in it. So this is the game that I bought from Nick Vintage Gamer along with Lion King, and give me a deal on it. And it's a classic. It's an arcade classic, right? I can't speak to how it plays on the 2600 though, but it's Defender. I mean, the artwork really doesn't say what it does at all. But and I'm assuming it is the Defender from the arcades, although yeah, it probably is, yeah. But the one I've got is like the American, I think it's the Sears version. So to have the actual OG, the PAL version, I was like, you know what? Let's go and buy the cart. Nick looked at probably like a £5. Right, we'll get to some tasty ones now. So we'll do again CBS. Should have done this one earlier. Another CBS. It's an arcade game because it says on the phone in front. And it's Golf. Didn't Golf have a unique? It didn't have a joystick. I'm sure it had like it did have a joystick, but I think it was like a like a Python. It had like different buttons at the top. I'm sure that was Golf. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't a standard 8-way, 4-way joystick. It had like it was quite ornate. I'm sure Golf was that. Right. James Import Retro Gamer. He's always sold on these. He says if he ever sees a game by Activision, Stonewall Classic. I don't know if this is just a Frogger clone on the motorway. It's called Freeway. I'm guessing it probably is. Frogger on the road, I don't know. With a chicken. Feed me chicken. But Freeway, nonetheless. This actually didn't have the manual. I bought, actually, no, this did come from Facebook. did buy a couple from Facebook, and he said this one didn't have the manual, but I had the manual because I just hoard shit. I didn't even know I had the manual for that till I went through my manual stash. There's probably a couple like that, but it don't matter. No one fucking cares. No one's interested. Right, last couple of tasty titles, and I'm going to let you go. Some Imagic ones. I can't speak to them. Dragonfire. I mean, they are cool. The silver. I don't think it's a shooter. It looks like it's a multi-screen game on the back of it. I'm sure someone will tell me, but these do look nice. The problem is, because of the size of them, none of my dust sleeves fit. This one, I don't know why, right? Because I'm a weirdo. When I see this, I always think of the Transformer Inferno, and it's the firefighter. No, because I'm sure Inferno was the Transformer. It turned into fire engine, wasn't it? Yeah, it looks like you just squirt shit, squirt shit out of a building. Again, I can't speak to it, but a nice Imagic silver box, shiny, like magpie, shiny. But again, can't find a box for that. Right, some nice ones now. I mentioned this one before. This one's eluded me for a long time. Managed to finally get it. I know it. I think this is one of Minx's favourite games. I can't say I've ever played it. I know who else was on about it. Was it Lee? I think Tet Lee. I think he played it on the BBC, or was it the TI-99? Definitely a version of it. But it is an Activision game, and it's Keystone Crappers. So you've got to chase the burglar. You're the copper. You got to chase the burglar around the level. Do you know what? I get weird vibes like Spy versus Spy. I don't know why. Not Spy versus Spy. Bonanza Brothers. So I think Bonanza Brothers probably ripped a lot of this off back in the day. But I always remember. I don't know why. Again, because I don't remember anything that's fucking any use generally. I always remember Mink saying he loved this game, but I'd never played it back then because as a kid you had like, you know, your exposure window was like fucking yay big. And from an Atari perspective, it was quite narrow, given the actual library size was like ridiculous. That one always, again, mentioned it before, in the back of my head. I mean, Craig says it's a great game. It's probably fucking shit. But it's not. I think, I say, when looking at the gameplay, I can't remember who it was. It may be James, might have been Lee. They did a gameplay of it, or put some footage up. I've got Bonanza Brothers vibes from it. Last two, then I'll let you go. Right, this one. I'm still looking for the second one of these. Still looking for the second one. Proving really, really tricky to find. Not cheap at all. But I managed to get this one. Got it in a bundle. So I'm still holding hope beyond hope for the second one, that I can find it in a bundle. They are good games. They are good games on the Atari. There's no doubt about it. For the time, compared to sort of the other titles, they were quite unique in what they were trying to do. And this is an Activision title. It's Pitfall. So I'm still trying. I even got a loose cart for Pitfall 2. That game just keeps going up and up and up and up. So I'm still hoping that I can manage to bag the second one in a bundle somewhere. But yeah, what's his name? I want to say Pitfall Charlie. It's not Pitfall Charlie. Harry. And obviously Pitfall has now been, he's on the SNES, he's on the Jag. You know, to be honest, from his inception here, he's done quite well as old Harry. And the last one, the last one. Right, so this one here is, I believe, the last silver box Parker game that I didn't have in my collection, but which I do now. Now, I thought this was a US exclusive. I didn't think there was a PAL version of it. And what's weird is I've actually since got another copy of this, complete as well. I've tried both, and they both play fine. They both work fine. So I don't know if it's just one of these games that, because some games were programmed in NTSC format, I think. And then when you play them in PAL, the colours are fucked and the sound's knackered. Whereas others aren't. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think it's as clear cut as like NTSC and PAL. I think there's like a blurred line. Again, I could be wrong here. Or I could just be really lucky and the two copies I've got here are weirdly PAL games. But I wasn't under the impression that this had a PAL release. But both games that I've got of this, I've tested them on like OG hardware and they play fine. It is a Parker game. It's a silver box game. It's one of the later releases. It's not as nice as the traditional ones you see. You know, the Star Wars games, the Frogger and all that kind of thing. It doesn't fall into that category. But it is a really good arcade game. Again, I have played, because I've tried both of them on the 2600. It plays okay. It plays okay. The music's quite good, actually. And it's gyrus. So I've got two copies of this. So I bought one off of eBay because the guy had it there. And he did me a deal. And I was like, fuck it, let's just get it, Stu. And I've got Star Wars. Star Wars is in the similar box to this. It's not the nice, solid, nice, hard cardboard. It's not that. It's the sort of later, not very nice cardboard, the cheap cardboard, for want of a better word. You're gonna struggle to find this in like really nice conditions because the nature of what it is. Because you have to rip this up. It's all that horrible stuff that you get with Atari boxes generally, which is why the Parker Brother ones are always quite nice because you don't have that wear and tear of this whole fucking lifting the flap up and whatnot. It's just like a lid that pops up and the cardboard's nice thick hardware and cardboard. But the game itself, like I say, it's not a terrible conversion. It's not great for what it can do from the Atari perspective. It's really impressive, especially, like I say, especially the music and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know enough. You know, and I know enough to be dangerous, enough to be fucking an idiot. But I can't speak to if you had an NTSC, a guaranteed NTSC version, and you put it into a PAL Atari, if that's what I've got, and maybe that's what I'm seeing, because I don't know if there's a PAL version to compare it to, if that makes sense. But it plays okay. It plays, it looks, it sounds, it runs fine. So yeah, I bought this. I think this is one I actually got off eBay, which is a slightly nicer box. Not much in it at all. Let's say the one I've got is box complete. But yeah, paid up for it clearly because these games aren't cheap. So that's where we're going to finish it. That is all of the Atari 2600 games. Now my shelf looks a little bit empty, but now I've got to find room and homes for all this stuff. Many thanks for watching. Many thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time, because I've got SNES, I've got PCN, I've got some cracking pieces, I've got some Sega still. Got some really nice in Sega I haven't showed yet. Stick with it. Take it easy, YouTube. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.